Hi, I'm Jon Kirkman. I'm a broadcaster and a music journalist based in the UK. Welcome once again to JK Central. Today, I'm talking about this beast of a release. It's a 2 CD box set containing lots of Bowie rarities. And you've probably got some of these on bootleg, but this is the one you need because Tony Visconti had a big hand in that. Tony Visconti, very, very much involved with David Bowie. Certainly at the beginning of his career, he was in a band with him called The Hype, which was formed around about the time of The Man Who Sold the World. With the Circle, of course, was one of the standout tracks of David Bowie's career. And it was also featured on The Man Who Sold the World album. And of course, Tony produced the final albums from David Bowie just before he died. And what you get here are 2 CDs, as I said, of rarities on here. You get a BBC concert from the era, which probably featured The Hype, which included John Cambridge, Mick Ronson, Tony Visconti, and David, of course. And it was kind of a little bit ahead of its time because they were all playing the parts of superheroes at the time. So it was his first kind of dabble into music theatre, if you like, and certainly very visual, which he became very well known for after that with the Ziggy era and Aladdin Sane era. We've got a live concert, which was on Radio 1, Sunday concert. And again, the Radio 1 used to do a lot of these concerts because the reason being, they were limited by a thing called needle time. They couldn't play too many pop records at the time because they had to pay royalties on it and things like that. However, they could play specially recorded sessions. So they'd bring in a lot of these bands who would happily come in and record sessions for the BBC or a live concert. So that was a way around the needle time thing. So hence, we've got people like David Bowie in the vaults of the BBC, and thank goodness we do, because we've got stuff like this now, all wonderfully recorded by the BBC in multi-track and very, very well recorded, as I said. Also on here, you get the Tony Visconti remixes, and what you get is the singles of the time. David Bowie was with Philip Stroke Mercury from 1969 when the first David Bowie album came out, had Space Oddity on it, and when Bowie hit with Ziggy, it was reissued and called Space Oddity. The second album of the recording contract with Mercury was The Man Who Sold the World. He then signed to RCA for the album Hunky Dory, and he was with RCA for many, many years after that. But what you get, the singles on here that have been remixed, like London by Tata, also Memory of a Free Festival, which was written about the very first Glastonbury Festival where David appeared, and an amazing collaboration with Mark Bolan, believe it or not, Prettiest Star. Now, Mark's playing guitar on that, and the guitar solo is just so Bolan. It's wonderful, which is obviously why David, who was good friends with Mark, wanted Mark on the record. When David re-recorded that track for the Aladdin Sane album, he told Mick Ronson, I wanted exactly the way Mark played it. And so Mick Ronson replicates the exact guitar line that Mark Bolan played on the original. This box set, as I said, is full of rarities, sessions. There's some more BBC sessions, including The Width of a Circle, which was, again, recorded in session for the BBC. If you're a Bowie fan, it really is a no-brainer. I know it might be silly saying that because many people may have bootlegs of this stuff. This is the real deal. Tony Visconti's been heavily involved in this, remixing and remastering a lot of the material on here. And if anyone's going to do it, really, it should be Tony Visconti. He had a huge hand in David Bowie's career, right the way through the years, really. And I think that if you're a Bowie fan, you will want to hear these tracks. And what you get in the booklet as well, there's some wonderful photos. There, of course, was an outtake from the original Man Who Sold the World cover. That wasn't used. It was a cartoon cover that was used in America because the Americans couldn't quite take a man in a dress. Yeah, he'd have probably got away with it if he'd have said it was a caftan, to be honest with you, but he said it was a man's dress. And of course, the Americans were a little bit, oh, you can't do that. So there's lots of things there. There's a promo single there. You see some photos of David here with curly hair, which is how he looked for the Hype concert. There he is there, the Hype concert. He grew it a little bit longer and grew it out when Hunky Dory came along. Totally unrecognisable from the David Bowie who relaunched himself in '72 with the Ziggy Stardust era. But I might also add that Ziggy Stardust, there's lots of pictures out there, David Bowie recording Ziggy Stardust with his long hair. It only became shorter and dyed red, and the Ziggy image, if you like, when the album came out proper and they were doing promo shots for the album. But he pretty much looked like that when he was recording the Ziggy album. And of course, this is also a photo from 1971. A wonderful artist, sadly no longer with us. There he is, again, another outtake in that man's dress. If he'd have said kaftan, he'd have got away with it probably. But, oh, a man's dress? No, we can't have a man in a dress on a cover in America. People would be absolutely shocked to the core. Anyway, I think America got over it in the end, to be honest with you. David Bowie, probably one of the artists of the century, I have to say. An icon, and having seen him so many times, you know, I miss the guy, I've got to say. So all this archive material coming out, it's a must for me, and I'm sure it's going to be a must for every David Bowie fan as well. Get this now. It's available now through your online retailer or in the shops if you can find a record shop, and it's well worth having. Very nicely priced as well for what it is. I'm not sure whether it's limited, but you've got to get it in this format. It really is worth the money.